5 pagan traditions still practiced in Christianity today. When people think about Christianity, they often imagine it as something completely unique, pure, and directly handed down from God. But history tells a very different story. Many Christian traditions, holidays, and even sacred symbols didn't start with Jesus or the Bible. They came from much older, pagan religions. From Roman festivals to Egyptian symbols, Christianity absorbed practices that already existed in order to make conversion easier for non-believers. And the shocking part? These traditions are still alive today, celebrated by millions of Christians who have no idea about their pagan origins. In this breakdown, we'll uncover 5 major pagan traditions that Christianity continues to practice in modern times. A pagan sun festival disguised as Christ's birth. The first, and maybe the most obvious, is Christmas. Most Christians believe December 25th is the birthday of Jesus. But here's the truth. The Bible never gives us a date. In fact, scholars agree Jesus was almost certainly not born in December. So why December 25th? This date was originally tied to Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun, a Roman festival honoring the sun god. Around the same time, Northern Europeans celebrated Yule, a winter solstice tradition involving decorated trees, fires, and feasts. The early church cleverly adopted these customs, repackaging them as the birth of Christ to make it easier for pagans to convert. Today, when families decorate trees, hang ornaments, exchange gifts, and light candles, they're unknowingly continuing rituals that predate Christianity by centuries. Next up is Easter. For Christians, it's the celebration of Jesus' resurrection, but take a closer look at its name and symbols. Easter comes from Eostre, the Anglo-Saxon goddess of spring and fertility. Her sacred symbols? Eggs and rabbits. In pagan tradition, eggs represented new life, while rabbits symbolized fertility and reproduction. These were not Christian ideas at all. But the church absorbed these traditions because spring festivals were too popular to eliminate. That's why today children hunt colorful eggs and eat chocolate bunnies without realizing these practices are rooted in fertility worship that long predates Christianity. Sunday worship. The day of the sun, not the sun. The Bible is clear. The Sabbath was on the 7th day, Saturday, following Jewish tradition. Early Christians also kept the Sabbath on Saturday. So why do almost all Christians now worship on Sunday? The answer lies in Rome. The Roman Empire honored the sun god, and Sunday, literally the day of the sun, was already sacred to them. When Emperor Constantine converted to Christianity in the 4th century, he decreed Sunday as the official day of Christian worship. This wasn't based on Jesus' teachings, but on political convenience. To this day, millions of Christians go to church every Sunday without realizing they're continuing the ancient practice of sun worship. The cross is the most recognizable Christian symbol in the world, but shockingly, it was not originally Christian. Long before Jesus, the Ankh in Egypt symbolized eternal life. Other forms of the cross appeared in Mesopotamia, Greece, and India as cosmic or spiritual symbols. When Christianity spread, the cross became its central image, not because it was unique, but because it was already familiar to pagan cultures. It was a clever way of using an existing sacred symbol and giving it new meaning. So while today Christians see the cross as representing Christ's sacrifice, Its origins go back to far older, pagan traditions. Finally, let's talk about holy water. In Catholic and Orthodox churches, believers dip their fingers into it before entering, or priests sprinkle it for blessings and protection. But this is not a Christian invention. Romans kept sacred water in temples to purify worshippers before prayer. Egyptians used Nile water for cleansing rituals. Ancient Greeks washed with holy water before entering shrines. The idea that water could wash away spiritual impurity existed thousands of years before Christianity adopted it. So every time holy water is used in church today, it's continuing a practice that began in pagan temples long before Jesus walked the earth. Conclusion: Christianity, far from being completely original, was built on a foundation of pagan practices. From Christmas trees, Easter eggs, Sunday worship, the cross, and holy water, nearly every major Christian tradition can be traced back to pre-Christian religions. For some believers, this is shocking. For others, it's proof of Christianity's ability to adapt and evolve. But one thing is undeniable. Christianity didn't erase paganism. It absorbed it, rebranded it, and passed it on to billions of people. So the next time you're celebrating Christmas, painting Easter eggs, or going to church on Sunday, ask yourself, are you really practicing Christianity, or are you unknowingly keeping ancient pagan traditions alive?